Hello everybody, Professor Thompson here. It's February 4th, and this might be one of the final video announcements that I post prior to the February 10th deadline for initial submission of assignments and modules, as well as our first face-to-face presentation day. Well, at least for some of you. So, anyhow, I got 5 or 6 things that I wanted to at least run down and mention quickly today. For all of you, some housekeeping items. So let's get right to it. First of all, I have been working over the last week to make sure links are working, everything's good to go. I know that I had a small technical glitch on, I think, a Chapter 14 module or Chapter 14 quiz, which I got an email on, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I fixed that link for everybody. So all of the modules and all of the quizzes should be good to go, at least to my knowledge. If something screws up, sometimes when they do an update of the Connect and the LearnSmart, it might kick off a link or something of that nature. Just let me know, and I can typically fix that pretty quickly. So I just make sure that we're communicating on that note back and forth, and I'll make sure that those things are ready for you to complete in a timely manner. I definitely, on that note, want to remind you that we do meet on February 10th, so that's on Monday of next week. And on that Monday is your first deadline for those first modules. By that date, you should make sure that you have completed Chapter 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2. And I spoke to you early on in this course how there's a lot of front-loaded information because it's all the preparatory material to get you ready for the speeches and the speech component. And your first two speeches are informative speeches. So it's important that we get through all of those informative chapters. And so I know that it seems like a lot right now to get done by February 10th, but there's far fewer chapters necessarily between now and your second required presentation, because you've already read the chapters, completed the modules, done the information that I feel should prepare you to successfully deliver that second presentation. So again, chapters 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, and chapter 2. Those are all due by next Monday when we get together for our first face-to-face meeting. And even if you're not showing up for that day, you still want to make sure you have all the modules done by next Monday. Some of you have done an excellent job being very active in completing these modules, and there's a couple of you that may want to really get on the ball and make sure that you're setting yourself up for success and you don't fall behind as we reach February 10th. So I did post to Blackboard in 2 locations a video to help you with your electronic video submission. So if you are somebody in class that's going to be submitting your video electronically as opposed to coming in and delivering your speech face-to-face, you want to make sure you watch that video. I've posted that video in the video announcement tab, which is on the left-hand side of the screen. I believe it's the second or third button down. It says video announcements, and then it would be in there. Or on the actual announcement page, I provided a written announcement, and then I provided you a link to the video so that you could watch that video and understand how you should submit your video if you're not coming in. It's a very, very easy process. I think the more challenging piece of that video submission is meeting the state of Illinois requirement. Remember that you need to have 8 or more people who are 16 years of age or older, and it needs to be in some sort of venue other than your house. It can't be your bedroom, it can't be your living room, it can't be your kitchen. It lists it as a community venue, and so it's the idea that you're at a church, you're in a classroom. Maybe there's an elementary school that will let you use a classroom for 10 minutes. Maybe it's a boardroom. Maybe it's a conference room of some sort. I'm sure many of you work at different locations where you have some sort of space in the workplace that you could definitely use to gather a small group of people for your 5, 6, 7, 8 minute presentation. So make sure that you get the community venue piece, something outside of the home, and that might be the challenging piece for some of you. But again, I don't set the requirements. That's beyond, Professor Thompson. That's beyond College of DuPage. That is state of Illinois requirement that I can't really bend on. So if you're going to do that, make sure that you complete it properly, I guess you could say. Make sure that your video is unedited. So when you start your video, you show your audience. I can verify that there is the correct number of people. And then you pan to yourself, which you then deliver your presentation. The video shows you clearly how to upload it properly, quickly, and effectively. All right. I did have a question additionally about the textbook. Again, the book is Communication Matters, and you can buy it in a bound version, or I believe there's also an unbound version that may be available. Some of you might be able to purchase that for a little less money. I think one of the important pieces is that you have that Connect product, because that provides you access to the online submission if you're going to do it that way. It provides you the link into all of the learning modules and all of the quizzes. So it's important that you are purchasing that textbook, whether it's the bound or the unbound version, but then also having the access ability and code to get into the Learn Smart technology. Okay, so finally, the last thing I wanted to remind everybody of is if you are coming to class to deliver your presentation face-to-face, it is this coming Monday, so February 10th, 6 to 9 p.m. Plan on staying until we get all of the presentations complete. It's in BIC, or Berg Instruction Center, is what BIC stands for. BIC 3719. So that's on the third level, 3719. If you park on the north side of the BIC building and you come in the doors where there's this really huge water fountain, water tower, it looks maybe like a fish or a sailboat or God knows what it is. But if you go in those doors, there's some stairs immediately as you come in those doors and you go upstairs. It's very close to that entrance and that stairwell. So it's BIC 3719. I did at the very start of the semester provide a campus map, if you're unfamiliar with COD, as one of my very, very first announcements, so you can find out where the instructional building is located. If you have other questions or concerns, please let me know, and I'll try and help you out before we end up coming to class on the first meeting, February 10th, 6 to 9 p.m. As of today, I only have one confirmation of a person submitting their videos completely online. So I believe that's Casey, if I can remember off the top of my head. So if you are going to do that, I ask, out of a courtesy, simply courtesy, please try and let me know 48 hours in advance that you're going to be submitting your videos electronically, so that I can get a sense of how many people might be there. Sometimes it might be a last-minute decision to do that, but I'm just trying to make sure that I have my ducks in a row, and I have some semblance of what may or may not take place. Several of you have contacted me asking questions about submission online, and so I know that it's at the forefront of your mind. I absolutely don't care, whatever's easiest for you, whatever works. You registered for this course, so let's make sure that you're completing it and meeting all of those requirements. But it does, if you are going to do that, please let me know as soon as possible. I am going to be out of town. I'm going to be in New York at the end of this week, Thursday to Saturday. So I'm crossing my fingers that the weather is really nice and I get back from New York in a timely manner for Monday. There should not be any problems or issues. Even if my flights are delayed until Sunday, I should be back by Monday evening. But I'm letting you know that Thursday to Saturday at the end of this week, I'm going to be out of town. I will have my MacBook with me, I will have my iPad with me, and I will have my cell phone with me. So even though I'm going to be at a symposium in Lower Manhattan, I will definitely be accessible via electronic means. So if I need to post another video, I can do so. If I need to respond to email, I can definitely do so. And as we get closer to that crunch time, you might have more and more questions. But I absolutely want to stress your first big deadline. February 10th is coming up. It's where you will have the most chapters due, the most modules due, the most quizzes due. And after this, it really lightens up. So I know for some of you, this is kind of crunch time this last week, but know that I've promised you from day one, if we can get you through the first 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you're pretty golden. And I'm on your side here. I want to see you succeed, but I need to make sure that we get these requirements done, okay? So everyone have an absolutely wonderful day. Stay warm. I know it's cold out there, and winter never seems to end around here, but we will see you all at some point very soon.